What happened here?
Wendy's new jalapeno fresco spicy chicken is so deliciously hot, it's generating reactions from everyone, like the memer.
Whew, eat spicy goodness like a boss.
Did these guys think this was a good idea? Did a young person approve this? Has a young person ever been in the Wendy's marketing division? For most brands, this would be inescapable. The younger generation would always think of troll face and Numa Numa or whatever when they think about Wendy's. So how was Wendy's able to turn it around and create arguably the biggest shift in social media marketing of our generation? All of that and more in... I think the best place to start is to break down why this is so bad. At its core, do I think that putting memes in TV ads is the worst idea? No. Marketers need a way to connect with the youth, and while traditional media consumption with young people has been trending downward for years, young people still watch TV. I feel like every generation feels like the older generation doesn't get them, but even with that, the references in here feel so dated. Even their version of behind the times is behind the times. Integrating the internet into traditional media, it wasn't a new thing at the time. We were just coming out of the golden age. The annoying Orange TV show had just been canceled, and we just got the worst flight safety video of all time.
Just your own mask before helping others.
Try to bit my finger again.
But I think it's important to acknowledge the landscape of memes and social media at the time. I'd like to think that there was a time where this was acceptable, but in 2015-2016, we were entering the post-ironic renaissance ushered in by creators like Filthy Frank and Max Mofo and iDubbbz. It's why we love things like 2018's YouTube Rewind. We don't actually love it, but yeah, that's hot. Hasn't left my vocabulary since. It was this inflection point where old memes stopped being bad and cringe. We started embracing things like Slenderman Gangnam Style for what they were. And while the internet's comedic taste has changed since Hair Cake, post-ironic memes haven't gone away. It's just evolved into greener pastures with things like Minions and Morbius. It's why the interpolation of that Travis Scott meme where he holds the microphone and he's like, grrr, works when it's in this McDonald's commercial. It's played off as a tiny gag instead of, hey, we know what the young people like. Where Wendy's beats you over the head with the fact that an ad exec learned what a meme is, McDonald's can introduce a seemingly random collab that gets lovingly clowned on upon release because they understand their audience. So back to the Wendy's ad. I think the moment that "like a boss" was uttered on live television would be the end of most brands' goodwill with young people, but Wendy's unprecedented risk-taking and shift in their social media voice changed social media marketing forever. After a Twitter exchange with a fan asking how many retweets it would take to get free chicken nuggets for a year, Wendy's back and forth resulted in 3 million retweets and over 980,000 followers in a year. And instead of squandering that success and regressing back into their old boomer voice, Chief Concept and Marketing Officer Kurt Kane broke down barriers and kind of let the social media team run wild. Instead of Wendy's the brand, we met Wendy the person. It was the first time the public had heard a brand talk like them. Even today, Wendy's does best when they're leaning into niche communities like turning their spicy chicken nuggets into Chainsaw Man. And honestly, I think it's just more effective to try to reach Zoomers on a platform they actually care about. Wendy's took the success of their retweet campaign and ran with it. Public roast battles between the social media managers of Wendy's and McDonald's took place by the hour. And it seemed like the red tape and politics of big business just disappeared overnight for some likes and retweets. And then Wendy's took it a step further and released a diss track EP against Wingstop social media manager.
Red hair with some pigtails, better check the score of these meal sale. Now that's better, I'm so clever, my bar's chilly, better grab a sweater. You block my tweets, can't squash the beat.
And I don't think that this is for everyone, but I honestly think that it doesn't hurt their brand. It's not just Wendy's though. When I see a brand on Twitter that doesn't sound like your 13-year-old sister wrote it, it's weird. The imitators don't always hit the mark though. There's always brands that think that they're acting like Wendy's, think that they're doing something cool, and then just put out a tweet like this Tampax one. And then there's brands like Gold Peak Tea that are just shouting into the void, looking for followers and not getting any. And then there's brands like Axe Body Spray where I feel like they just gave the login to a hip hop Twitter guy who really likes Playboy Cardi and Yeet. I don't know. I think the apex of all of this was the Great Chicken Sandwich Wars of 2019. 20 fast food restaurants launched chicken sandwiches after beefing with each other on Twitter, and it all spawned from a Chick-fil-A and Popeyes thread. What started as Chick-fil-A just sneak dissing Popeyes turned into a 420% increase in chicken sandwich consumption in the US. Everybody wants what Wendy's has, and while it works sometimes, most brands have trouble connecting with their audience the same way. Even if brands go into it with the best intentions, a lot of it just ends up being cringe. And the best example of that are these Chips Ahoy commercials. So,
When the shot is swishy, but you want that chocolate chippy.
yeah.
When the drip is respectable, but the chips are impeccable.
Who is this for?
When it's a trick shot, fail, but you still score some chocolate.
This is like if you told an alien what a meme was, and then you told an alien what an advertisement was, and then you just had him make something. It's that same brand of humor that Wendy's used in 2015, the, hey look, I know what something is and that's funny, you're all gonna laugh now and buy my product, right? Kind of thing. But somehow it's just worse. I don't know if it's the fact that the cookie looks worse in every ad, or the fact that the TikTok AI voiceover girl is telling me that the drip is respectable, or that there's a loot box in my cookie, but it all just feels very uncanny valley, icky, yucky, gross, goodbye, bye now, goodbye. I just have so many questions. Why is there cookie among us? Why did they get a fake Drake to make a knockoff nonstop for a Sour Patch Kids commercial? Why are they putting gummies in the cookies? Why would it matter if the drip was respectable? Wouldn't the chips still be impeccable? So on one hand, it's so bad. It's so bad. But on the other hand, maybe that's the point. Maybe it was supposed to be this bad. I don't know. I haven't thought about Chips Ahoy this much in years. I know for a fact I wouldn't have paid attention to Chips Ahoy this much if it wasn't this bad. I was actively seeking out other Chips Ahoy commercials after watching these awful ones. Even if none of this was intentional, I think the post-ironic world we live in makes bad ads good ads. We love, or at least are intrigued by, these weird mobile game ads, and even if it's all fake advertising, I think more about Raid Shadow Legends than I do a lot of AAA games. So, if I was a boomer trying to wrap my head around how to authentically advertise to young people, I wouldn't know where to start. So much of the internet's humor is just in-jokes of in-jokes of in-jokes, to a point where if you're just coming in, I don't know where you go. Paired with the disposability of memes and jokes on the internet, I honestly think these Wendy's ad execs had no idea they were doing anything wrong when they were putting this ad together. I do believe there's a happy medium for internet culture to seep into mainstream media, but I think that traditional media needs to understand the power that influencers have first. They eclipse primetime TV daily, they do it all from their home, and mainstream media can't get their head around what's going to kill them. Do I think that the Wendy's voice is the best thing that's ever happened to social media? No. I do think it's a good start though. The red tape had to come off somewhere, and even if we have to put up with some duds, I think we're all going to be better for it. Thanks for watching. Do all the YouTube stuff, like and subscribe. I'm going to try to post on here a lot, and I really appreciate you checking this out. Bye, that's the end of the video. Bye, leave now, bye.